Hey, Roberto Monaco here with the Cairo Speaking Company. And today I have two superheroes in our call here, Dr. Rob Schiffman and Dr. Ben Lerner. What's up, guys?
Man, it's so great to see you, Roberto.
Great to see you, Roberto.
I'm excited to be here. I was reading you guys' bio on the C3 page, and I'm like, man, it's going to take 10 hours to introduce these guys. Just the accolades. But Dr. Rob, was a pleasure connecting. I heard your name 1,000 times before from so many different sources. You have been a chiropractor for 39 years, and I love that you built up one, if not the largest practice in the history of the profession. I want to hear about that. Not only that, but you help your colleagues, other chiropractors, to do the same. So welcome. Heart when you welcome to one of your events a couple years ago. So I'm very grateful for that. And Dr. Ben, a superstar, wrote 20 books, 20, not two, 20 books, help thousands of chiropractors and millions of people through other chiropractors to restore their life, their health. And he opened up 100 franchises nationwide, and he has involved and helped big companies in the sport industry like NBA, USA, Olympic, and the bio keeps going on and on and on and on. So, guys, I'm super grateful to be here today. And we are talking about C3, the event coming up in Lansing in July 15th, 17th. Below here, guys, there's a link for you to register. So I want to know first, because both of you are the founders of C3, Christ Center Chiropractic. I want to know more about what's the story behind the creation of the company and the programs.
Rob, you want to tell them how we, because it's amazing how it kind of came about. You want to share the story?
Yeah, well, Dr. Ben and I, we pray every morning together, and at 6 a.m. And during prayer, the Holy Spirit downloaded to us CCC, Christ Center Chiropractic, that there's a void in the profession, bringing the profession back to what the founders of chiropractic meant chiropractic to be. It got far away where God back in the day was at the center of our profession. You could read even the green books, the original books of chiropractic, how they're talking about God, how the power that makes the body heals the body, talking about the innate intelligence of the human body. And the profession got so far away from it, where with Christ-centered chiropractic, we're bringing chiropractic back to the fullness of what chiropractic was always meant to be. That is God's healing profession. That there's such a lack in our profession today to get back to the original source of what the foundation of chiropractic was all about.
What has been your experiences, Dr. Ben, Dr. Rob, of incorporating Christ Center principles into your personal practice, into your personal ministry?
Well, it's interesting. A lot of people would think, well, we must have baptismals next to the x-ray machines in the practice. And so part of your new patient exam is we dunk you. But that's not really what it looks like. So like Dr. Rob is a fellow in Gonstead, so he's a highly scientific, specific chiropractor. I've been trained by the Clear Institute. We run very high level procedures and processes, have the best staff, in the world. So it's a lot like you would see it at any really high level chiropractic clinic, but there's this juice, there's this supernatural power that flows through there because Christ is at the center of it all. So we get these ridiculous results. So you see miracles with patients, and you see volume that's crazy. So like Dr. Rob adjusting 3,000 a week, biggest ever in the history of chiropractic. My clinic's seeing 15,000 people per month when you put all of that together.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So in your perspective, why more chiropractors, they don't jump in and embrace this mission of bringing Christ-centered principles into their practice? What stopped them from doing that?
Dr. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, well, first of all, number one is they don't know about it. People perish for lack of knowledge. That's a big thing. Where growing up, They're not familiar with Christ at all, what their backgrounds are. They've never read the Bible. Most have never read the Bible. A lot of doctors, we go to school, we're very analytical, and the spiritual component of the doctor being an analytical mind chases us away from Christ. The Bible says that childlike faith, that's how we believe. And because we're bogged down, chiropractors bogged down with all the analytical, and it's true, we need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the main component, Luke, Dr. Luke, he was the first chiropractor, right, in the New Testament. So the main component of the core and the essence of life is God, is Christ, which literally means the anointed one, the burden lifter. And then the Bible goes on to say that signs and wonders and miracles follow us who believe. So as we become a follower of Christ and that void, we live in an outside-in world. We're searching outside healing, right? A drug, it's all outside in. But that's really our principle. Christ-centered is a principle chiropractor because it's above down, inside and out. We see Christ above in our heart, and then we give Christ out. It says go into all the world. So as we become a Christ follower, we go into all the world in our practices and touch as many people as we can. But once we explain to them the fact of life, that they're searching for something. What is it? Why am I in torment? Why isn't my practice growing? Or if I am successful, why maybe I have a bad marriage? Or why am I doing things? Where's my peace?
Mm-hmm.
Comes with Christ. And when we have that peace, which is Christ within us, we bring that peace, which is Christ, into our practices, and then our offices flourish, our teams flourish, and people come in and they feel the presence of Christ throughout the day.
So thank you. Obviously, nobody can deny the results. Both of you have achieved massive success in life and in practice. So what, from a patient perspective, because a lot of chiropractors, sometimes they feel like if they embrace these principles and they bring into their practice, they're going to be quote unquote judged, or may they think, well, I'm going to be attacked, or may they think like, I don't want to do that. So what's your guys' perspective when you bring this message in addition to chiropractic or combine with chiropractic to your patient base?
These, by the way, these are fantastic questions because these do get to the root of a lot of doctors' concerns. Much of it is fear. As you know, teaching speaking, that's the greatest fear in the world is the fear of public speaking. Somehow that's worse than death for people. I don't know why. I'm more worried about sharks than speaking, but that's just me. But there's fear that if I express myself and tell the truth, that I'd be rejected. And the good thing is when faith shows up, fear walks out. So
I love that. Can you repeat that again? That's good. That's good. That's good.
When faith walks in, fear walks out. So that's, you get rid of that fear right away. And what you'll find is people appreciate your authenticity. They know who I am. I don't judge them for who they are. So our practices are full of every religion and every way of thinking and every ideology and every theology is in my practice, just like Dr. Rob's. And they appreciate that I'm authentic. I am who I am, and that they can trust me knowing that, that I'm a principled Christian person. So I've only seen it create positive, but I understand the fear. But we choose to move in faith rather than fear, something we'll certainly be teaching people come to the July event.
Love it.
Yep.
So so let's talk about the event. I know you guys done this event before. And what are some of the cool things or the best things you saw in previous events?
Well, first, you're coming. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
So that's why this is going to be the best event. So maybe you can share what are you going to go over when we're there? That is a big reason everybody needs to show up.
Well, the reason everybody should show up is because it's not going to be an event where you're going to sit down in a chair and just learn. You're going to experience, and that's a big difference. The way you guys set up the event, You're going to have a chance to participate, to engage, to do breakout sessions, to really experience the whole weekend. Personally, I'll be talking about speaking. I'm talking about that we shouldn't speak to inform, we should speak to transform. And there's a psychology component, there's a structure component, and there's a marketing component. So I'm super excited to help you, chiropractor, to take your message to the masses. That's my thing. That's what I do. Now, yes, Dr. Rob?
Yeah, so when you speak at conferences, and you speak on like the topics that you speak on, what do you feel for practicality that they can bring back to their practices that would be practical for them to immediately put it in process to affect their practice so their practices can increase and grow?
Couple aspects. Number one, for any doctor right now who's doing any type of in-person lectures, like group doctors reports, outside talks. I know some chiros already are doing outside talks as cities are opening up. I'm going to help them to increase the persuasiveness of their message. So their message will be more effective, which means they're going to be able to enroll more people in chiropractic. That's number one. Number two, very specific. During the last 12 months, due to this pandemic, there was a shift in the marketplace. And the shift is that a vast majority of people who traditionally went to work in an office, they're not going to come back to work in an office. There's a big trend of remote work. A big portion of the population are going to be working remotely. So let's say, for example, in your hometown, you usually used to do a presentation in an office, 20 people. Now, those people are going to work from home. So how are you going to reach them? So the second component would be, I'm going to share some ideas that how the doctor can bring chiropractic, I call virtual talks, virtual lunch and learns to address the future needs of companies. People work from home. So that's is a big, massive opportunity for chiropractors. And I feel like a lot of doctors, they're still waiting for things to go back to normal because they're afraid of technology. I'm saying, no. The psychology, the mindset is this. You got to be able to offer both. If you have an opportunity to do a workshop in your practice, to do a talk in a convention, in a company, do it. But also have to be proactive and launch a campaign to do virtual talks, virtual lunch and learns, and live videos and all that jazz. So specifically, they're going to have a blueprint on how to do that, how to take their message that was working before COVID in a traditional in-person event, how to do that online.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I'm definitely
that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I want to know two things. One, can you tell me a little bit about, because it's going to be my first event, tell me about some of the things that happens in the previous events. I want to see some aha moments, some breakthroughs, something. I want to hear some cool things that happened in the past.
Yeah, let me jump in, then Dr. Rob will turn it over to you. So first, you know how when you go to Anthony Robbins, they do walking on fire?
Yeah.
We do walking on water. So it's that's so cool.
Oh, it's way harder. I'm sure it's way harder.
Yeah, no fire. We don't walk on fire. We walk on water. That's a little different with us. But something that very powerful that happened at the last event. So I want to share this, and Dr. Rob, you can talk a little bit more about what we do there that's maybe different. So once again, you're adding now the supernatural to your life. So suddenly at the office, and you get this as a communicator, instead of normal just words, there's an emotional valence. There's something supernatural happening here. There's just more power in what you normally do. Even if you change nothing, you've just exponentially grown because of coming to an event like this and going through the experience. But at the last one, there's a doctor that brought 9 of his patients. So not just the staff, but his patients were there. And first of all 9 of them at the end accepted Jesus Christ. So that was mind-blowing.
Big win.
Pretty big win. The other one is that there was one of them is a very high-powered pharmaceutical rep who decided to leave what she was doing to go work for the doctor.
Wow.
So the transformation in the people that were there that weren't even in chiropractic was pretty amazing. Dr. Rob, maybe you can share a bit more.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you know, everybody that has come to every event that we've had so far has always had growth and has always had increase and has always had expansion and has always had their teams become more unified on the mission. That they have found that they're not on the mission, but in the season that we're living in, especially with the pandemic, that the team is the mission. So they've done more working together as a team to help their communities, knowing that they're not just there for a few people, but they're literally there to save lives, not just in their community, but in their state, becoming more of a world vision. And every practice has always been transformed, increased growth. The inspiration that they received. I mean, everyone that's ever come has always said that they've never been to a seminar like this before in the history of chiropractic because of bringing Christ into it and the power. There's such a power. You know, when you're in the presence of the power of God, you can go to church and you just walk in there and the power and the presence is so strong. Just by walking in, you just transform, you change.
I have chills right now. I have chills right now.
Yeah, it's experiential. It's experiential. Yeah.
I love that. Guys, if you're watching us, below the description of the video here, go and there's a link. You can click the link and go and get your ticket. It's going to be an amazing event. Now, Dr. Rob, what are you going to be speaking about in Lansing in July? What's your topic?
Mega growth. How to have the largest and biggest practice of your dreams. And I'm going to go over 40, actually it's hard to believe, but 41 years of step-by-step what has helped me to have, as most have called, the largest practice in the history of chiropractic. I'm going to go over specific steps, practical steps that will help each doctor and their team to know exactly step by step, whether they're saying 100, 300, 500, 1,000 a week, what it takes to go to the next level in their practices so that they can have process, increase, and growth, where sometimes there's so much increase we cannot handle it. And then it's a hole in the bucket. The patients just go through this hole, where I'm going to show them how to close up that hole and have a strong foundation so every month and every year, step by step, they grow continually. Because there's two ways to go in practice. Either we're going to go forward or we're going to go backwards. We can never stay the same, just in life in general. I'm going to show how to go forward, step by step, practical steps so that they can learn, take it home with them, and use it in their practices so that they'll be able to have a smooth process of steady growth throughout their chiropractic practice.
I love it. In your best peak week, how many people you saw?
3,700.
3,700. How many people you had working with you?
Well, back then I had a lot more than I have right now. Yeah. I had a lot of people working for me back then. Yeah.
You know, it's just as miraculous though. So Dr. Rob, he recently started a new practice. I mean, recently, like this last year, and in the middle of COVID and everything, and within 6 months, that new practice was already over 1,000 a week. So this is just old school stuff here. This is happening right now.
That's incredible. I cannot wait to sit down with the audience members and take notes. So I'm super excited. Dr. Ben, what's your topic? What are you going to be talking about?
So this whole thing, there's a training aspect, like you said, experiential, so that you go home more skilled and better. And my training aspect will be on marketing in this season. So things like you mentioned, they're evolving. Like you said, you just can't go into a business physical location anymore and see the same thing you saw, a year and a half ago. So, how do you market differently and better? Because my clinics that I own and operate are still seeing a ton of new patients. We've not slowed down, but there's definitely some different ways we've done that. There's been innovation. And then spiritually, we've always believed since the beginning of this, Dr. Rob and I see miracles. And again, I'm a very scientific chiropractor. I'm certified in biophysics, certified, CBP and Clear Institute. So very scientific. But because of our approach, because of the presence of God in our clinic, because of the state we're in, we do see different results than the average chiropractor would see, which is why people come from us, to us from all over the world to get care. And we did not slow down because of, a pandemic. When you're saving lives like we are, they just keep coming in.
I love that. Well, I'm so honored, first of all, to have an opportunity to chat with both of you at the same time. When I said Dr. Jean-Guy, who's organizing this, he said, man, it's impossible to get both of them at the same time. And I said, I think you're not reading the Bible. With God, all things are possible. He's not laughing. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna throw some Bible at you. By the way, Dr. Jean-Guy has been a great mentor, spiritual mentor for me.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. I love that guy. So for those who want to join us, not only for an event, but to a powerful, transformational experience, it's going to be in Lansing, July 15th to the 17th. There's a link below here. Dr. Rob, Dr. Ben, God bless you. Thanks so much for your time today.
Bless you too, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much.